I'm here right now with Lemonnation, who is the coach of Cloud9. You played for a little bit previously, correct?
Yeah, I was a pro player. I played support
Okay. For which team?
for Cloud9.
Okay. Now, it is week 4 of LCS. What is your guys' standing at the moment now with this win? If you don't know, then I don't feel guilty about not
We
knowing.
went 1-1 every week, and we just went 2-0. We're probably like third-ish around, somewhere around there. I think we're tied with.
So your standing is what? Four and
we must be tied.
5 and 3.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Okay.
So we must be tied for like third, second, or something like that.
It doesn't really matter as much these days anyway. But so what's going on with this whole like Bunny high thing? Everybody's talking about it. Is Bunny just? He's gonna be locked in prison. He's gonna be hanging out with Meteos somewhere. Like Bunny will just get thrown into a pit somewhere, and Meteos will be there being like, "Oh, it's so troll, dude."
Well, at the beginning of the split, it looked like pretty like even. Like the scrims are going pretty even for both of them, and I think over time, high has kind of more adapted to support, whereas our team is still more like used to having the high shot calling. Yeah. So when Bunny comes in, like he's kind of like he's definitely like much better at talking than like Balls or Sneaky or Jensen are. He's like an A, but high is an S, and everyone's used to playing with an S, like talker and communicator and like question asker, and not having that just is really hard to adapt. I mean, Sneaky and Balls have played not having to talk for like 3 years, and they just don't talk, and they don't need to.
I mean, so it feels like the high shot calling is a drug, though. Like, how do you get off of it, right? Like, because at some point in time, that man over there is going to age and just, like he'll lose it, or either that or he'll slowly descend into higher levels of insanity.
I mean, we still do scrims. We do the majority of scrims with high, but we still do Bunny as well. Okay. So we're still, trying out. We're still not just going to only use high all the time, but we do want our best chance of winning every game. So right now it's been doing high.
Isn't there a point in time where you're like, all right, we just have to bite the bullet and lose like 3 games in a row to grind out like winning without high so that he can release and ascend into the levels of retirement?
I don't think it works that way. I don't think you just you don't use. I mean, LCS is good experience, but you don't just use them for experience. Like you have scrims for experience. You have other ways to work on that.
I just assume Jack is back at the house and he's like, all right, I need to make sure that I've got good teams in other games so that the day that High retires, at Cloud9 League just becomes like Dignitas tier. Like it's just.
I mean, CSGO is moving to where they have the coach always able to talk. Yeah. He can always like tell them what to do. So maybe at that point, High can just be the talker. You know. It's perfect.
You're secretly Jack is sitting backstage just with all the writers being like, I really think the coach needs to be able to talk in the comms during the game, and then but then you become unemployed, right?
Well, I think High will be much better at that than I could ever be, but I'm better at other things. Right. I got my benefits as well.
Okay, what are your benefits?
I'm pretty good at like the pick banning and thinking about what's good at the meta and that kind of thing. Yeah.
There goes Jack now. What's it like working with Jack as a coach, as your Well, you're a coach. He's the owner. You're no longer a player.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Jack's like the best owner in LCS. Like he's the one who probably wants the best for like everybody, and he also is the one who is the best at getting sponsors and just like doing what he needs to do as an owner. Yeah.
Are you saying that because he's standing right behind you right now?
Yeah, he can hear me.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk again later. Now. What do you think is holding Cloud9 back right now from being the like Immortals, undefeated, stomping everyone, we're the next Fnatic, etc.?
Well, Immortals has a very like clear kind of play style right now, where it's basically shit on lane, win game, and they always pick their winning lanes, that kind of thing, and they're very good at that. They have very strong players who can take advantage of that, and we do play Immortals next week, so we can try to maybe exploit that and look for a win, hopefully. But we do have our own issues. I don't want to go too much into it because I don't want them to be exploited, but we're working on those as well. Yeah.
Lemon, give me a shout out. Say hi.
Hi.
Oh, great. Don't know if anybody heard that, but High request a shout out. He just said fuck because apparently he's not very happy with your shout out. All right. There we go. All right. So, we were going to talk about this. You How much time do you play now as a coach? Do you still play League?
Yeah, I mean, I play League a lot less than before, probably like a fourth as much or so,
Yeah.
but I do still play it. I think it's still beneficial to play to kind of like basically understand the meta more.
Yeah. But there are some coaches that I don't even think play League, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think that those guys are...
I mean, I think that's viable, but at least for me, with how I like approach the game, I think it's necessary to continue to play.
Do you see yourself doing this for a really long time? I mean, in traditional sports, there's coaches that are just like coaches for until they retire, right? Like, is there?
60.
Yeah, exactly. And they're sitting there and they're all grumpy and stuff. Is that you in 60 years, or not 60 because you're a little older? Like, 10 years.
I mean, I can't really tell the future, but I think it'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
But you're comfortable with that. You don't have crazy aspirations. You're not like, one day I will build my own organization to rival Jax, and I'll bring down Cloud9.
I'll build my own game to rival League of Legends.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly. And then in that game, the way it's set up, the coach will be able to talk in the comms. You'll poach high, and then
there'll be no dynamic queue.
Yeah, dynamic queue. Yeah, let's talk about dynamic queue. We were talking a little bit about that. How do the players on Cloud9 feel about dynamic queue?
Well,
because I feel like they all play dynamic queue, and there's all these excerpts of them all playing
dynamic queue.
Yeah,
like,
but
there's no choice.
But there's all these videos of them playing and like looking like they're having fun.
I think basically they're all waiting until solo queue comes out as Riot has promised. Like especially Rush definitely has been tilted a lot off dynamic queue and has definitely raged about it. Yeah.
Well, because he's like the solo queue grinder man. Like he was bred and born in solo queue.
When I say dynamic queue, I don't mean just dynamic queue. I'm also talking about like the new champ select thing too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like that kind of thing is, I think, very annoyingly set up.
Why?
Like it takes like twice as long. You have to pay twice as much of attention, and
yeah. And you don't want to pay attention when you're playing League of Legends, right?
Yeah, you just want to. Well, you just want to get into the game. Like before, it was like 5 minutes you're in game. You can do whatever else in queue. Now it's like 15 minutes you're waiting in queue, having to click everything.
Don't you guys have faster queue times under dynamic though?
Not at high elo, no. It's definitely longer.
Oh, it's longer.
Yeah.
And it always used to be super long, so now it's like super long.
Yeah.
Oh. So it's kind of just a hell.
It's also because people, miss it and dodge sometimes too. That happens more often.
Have you ever missed it and dodged?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Did you feel ashamed afterwards?
Well, it's because I always mute it. I mute the client because there's background noise now.
Yeah.
Like even if you mute the music, there's still background noise if you have the audio effects on. And I listen to music, I find it annoying.
Okay. What type of music you listen to?
That's my excuse.
Yeah. What type of music do you listen to?
I don't know. Music.
You don't have no genre. You just have like something that literally plays every type of music or something.
Yeah, I just music it up.
All right. So you're not super into music.
I make my own.
All right. Really? What do you play?
I only listen to my own music.
Okay. So you are also a musician in addition to a coach.
No, I'm not. Sorry.
So that was a lie just now. You just lied to me.
Yeah, I did.
That makes it seem as though perhaps everything else you said in this interview is a lie. It's now all suspect.
Yeah, well, it's not. I'll cut that off right now. It was everything else was true.
Well, I don't know how to believe that.
You'll just have to trust me.
All right. I don't know how to trust anymore after you've lied. Is there anything you would like to say to the Cloud9 fans out there? Anything about these guys over here? Anything like that?
No.
You can check out the rest of our coverage of all things League of Legends at GameSpot.com/LOL.